Um, so this is isolation story number 2. I remember uh, when I was about 25, I became very sick with an infectious disease and ended up in an ICU on a respirator or a ventilator. This is the scar. And when you're on a ventilator in an ICU, the big thing is infection. And there's always this kind of like cleaning thing going on. You're not allowed to have flowers in the room. People aren't supposed to touch you. There's this whole thing. Oh, you're in this bubble, and you're being protected from infection. I had during that time pneumonia 3 different times. So how successful it was overall, I don't know. And I was very fortunate to have a brilliant, heroic doctor, and he practiced heroic medicine in the best way. And I'm here today because of that. But the one thing that I wanted to share about the isolation that was the most difficult part of that experience was the lack of touch. And with this social distancing, or now they're calling it physical distancing, there's this sense of, we're not hugging, we're not touching. And I'm a very touchy person. I sign my emails after I've met you once, hugs Abrah. And I was reading a post yesterday about from a beautiful person I know who's like so kind and generous, and she was saying how difficult it is to be at home isolated with the kids and not knowing, just it's difficult. What else can you say? And I was thinking about her because she's such an amazing human being, and I was thinking about like what it would be like in the old days, and I was thinking about Inuit people up in the north sitting in igloos and through the long winters, and how they dealt with it. And they were close, and I'm sure part of it was touch. They touched each other, and so I'm just thinking, hold hands, hug the people you're with. If you can't hug the people around you, imagine yourself touching other people. Send them warm, embracing touch. And just one more thing I wanted to share around touch and how important it is, and how important it is to give each other touch during a time where we feel isolated, we feel alone. Is I was traveling a long time ago in Vietnam, and somehow I ended up doing some volunteer work for about a week in an orphanage, and I would go every day, and there were these babies. It makes me emotional just thinking about them, like 6-month-old babies who really were never held. And as a volunteer, that's what I would do, is I would go and hold these babies. And some of them were hard like wood from a lack of touch. So touch the people you love, touch the people you're with, hold their hands, stroke their heads, give them comfort. No words, just touch, and it will be good. Okay, sorry for getting emotional. Okay, have a good day. Touch each other.